Hello, World Civ 106 Late Start online class. And I just want to say that so far I've been seeing really most of you are doing the work the way that I mentioned to do it, and you're getting full points. Remember, you have to always do video notes on all the videos, and sometimes with longer ones I actually write somewhere say you must write 4 notes on. So please keep that in mind. Every once in a while, I will mention within the video or written somewhere saying that you don't have to take notes on a video. That's the only time in which you would not take notes on a video in your modules. So, and I want to remind you that Sunday papers, dates need to be written within, and there needs to be dates covering the time periods, not the dates for the time that, not for the date of the class, like when you're turning in the paper, but when you're talking about anything in history, there needs to be some sort of dates covering the time periods that you're talking about. And I need to see works cited within the paper. I will not accept works, you write a paper and then you just write down works cited with the list at the bottom. That's not even how it works in academic papers. You would have to have footnotes that link the works cited, like the bibliography at the end, to the paper. Now, if you want to use Chicago style, and you know what that is, then that'll count. But I'm going to crack down on works cited just being dropped at the end of that, because that's not works cited. You're just saying, you're hinting at me that the information comes there, but it's not pinpointing where it's at. So what I've told you in the last video is when you see the example of a paper I have and you have parentheses and you just put Pollock Video 1, or you put you know, the name of the textbook and then the page number, that's all I'm looking for, okay? To make sure that you're not using outside sources. And so this isn't really, I'm not having you put it together in a really scholarly way or in a research way, but I am holding you accountable to make sure that you're not going to outside sources like Wikipedia, the Britannica Encyclopedia, or some other website that may have some less reliable information in it. And it's, again, it's the Sunday papers are a way for you demonstrating you actually took the time to do everything that was just in the class with the modules, okay? And that includes readings too from that. So not just the textbook. Sometimes I have supplementary readings also, and as long as it's within the modules, you can use for the Sunday papers. And so with this week, you're noticing that the workload just got doubled quite a bit. And I did warn you about this in previous videos. This is a late start class, so think of it as a cram course. You do not want to procrastinate. And if you look at the layout for this week's module, we start with Mesopotamia. You're going to watch the videos on that. And you're going to have notes and a discussion due on Thursday for Mesopotamia. Then Sundays will be the same kind of assignment going for ancient Egypt, but you will also have the one-page paper due like you have for, like you experienced with this week's work, your first week of work. And so please keep this in mind. I will remind you that I don't use the calendar, that this is going to be very consistent about Thursdays and Sundays being the turn-in days by midnight. You can always turn things ahead of time. You can't just automatically turn in late work. You have to communicate with me on that. I am very understandable. Very understanding when it comes to you communicating with me if you have some issues getting your work done. I realize, especially if you're new to this, and you maybe, and if you did not really understand what it meant to have a late start class, meaning that the same amount of information of the semester, of a normal semester, is being brought into a condensed amount of time. So you will be done with this semester sooner than everybody else, but you are also going to be working harder than everyone else in the moment. So again, I just want to remind that of you. Please feel free to, write any questions about any of the information or issues you're having with anything. If I grade wrong, every once in a while, Canvas kind of lags, and it'll look like you didn't turn in all the work. Oops, this thing keeps falling out. It'll look like you didn't turn in all the work, and every once in a while, I don't give you the right grade, and somebody writes me and says, "Mr. Pollack, I did the work. I did finish the notes," and then I look back at it, and I can see what happened. So please be proactive with your academic life with me. You know, we make mistakes as well. If something doesn't seem right for you, I am very approachable. I'll fix it. Also, I want to mention, please, no handwritten notes, pictures. If you have an emergency and that's the best you can do at the moment, write that to me and explain it. But you have to send me typed attachments for assignments. So I'm going to take it easy, with you at first, but that's something that's very important to do. So I think you're going to really, really enjoy this week's lectures. You're going to actually really learn a lot about how ancient Iraq is actually very historically significant, maybe a country that some of you in America haven't thought about as being so relevant to world history and civilization. It's also where we start within Western civilization. And then Egypt gets really taught in a way that makes you just think about pyramids and pharaohs. And that's definitely a part of the history of ancient Egypt. But I bring in Christianity into Egypt, and it seems maybe counterintuitive to think of Egypt being so important to the development of global Christianity. But in fact, it's a major, major powerhouse in the early centuries, and influencing even the Western world with monastic life, with the developments of the concept of a monastery, in the way that the Christian world would do it. So I really want this class to get you exposed to a lot of history of things that you maybe have never been exposed to and find that are highly relevant. So having said that, I hope you're having a good week. I do work in another job, and I am very busy, but I try to get in contact with everyone. Please always write to me through Canvas is the best. And texting if you need to, as long as it's on reasonable hours that I posted. So, all right, have a blessed week, and we will be in touch.